Merhaba, nasılsınız? Welcome to my stream. We will once again be playing some Root solo with the 4 base factions found in the Clockwork expansion. So, let's have a look at what it looks like. We are playing on the lake map today. I am once again playing as the riverfolk. And if you're not quite sure what Root is, I'll give you a quick little explanation. Other than that, if there are any questions at all about any of the rules or how any of this works, feel free to put it in the chat. My chat is right there, so I will quickly respond and explain whatever you need me to explain. So, let us get into the map explanation after mentioning that if there are, as I mentioned, if there are any questions you can tell me, and you can also write the command to get the rules up. I have someone who is... never mind, she didn't want to come out after all. So, here we have this is the lake map, and how Root works is that it's playing on a map that is a forest, and you have a bunch of individual clearings. So as you can see here, these little openings in the forest where there are buildings, those are clearings where you have your warriors or buildings or tokens. Put this a little up. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. There you go. That's better. That's more like it. Yeah. So you have the clearings, and then you have warriors. So there are different factions, different kinds of the woodland animals present in the forest that you play and you play against. So first, let's have a look at the mechanical marquees. As you can see here, those are the warriors. They're cats, and the Marquise the cat has taken over the forest from the birds, and now she is going to turn the forest into a factory where she will produce, and so she needs to build a whole bunch of buildings all over the forest. The birds that she took the forest from are these birds. These are the warriors. So this is the Ba. I'm playing against the electric Eerie. And the Eerie dynasty, as they are called, the faction. They are here to take the forest back. And as you can see, they are set up in this clearing right here. Then we have the Woodland Alliance, or as the bot is called, Automated Alliance, and they are represented by these warriors here. They are represented by the mice. There we go. So they are the animals around the forest who are not big fans of all the fighting going on. They don't like being they don't like the cats trying to take over everything and the birds trying to take over everything, so they're trying to take over everything on their own. They're trying to be in charge of themselves. Just a little bit of mess here. Next up we have the Vagabond, and is played by the faction Vagabond, and the Vagabond's pawn looks like this, or the current one. So since I've chosen the Ranger, my Vagabond has that pawn, and the Ranger is this card right here. is, so that's why I chose that particular pawn to, as closely as possible, resemble this character card. Now, last but not least, we have the faction that I will be playing, the Riverfolk company, and they are their warriors are these. They are otters, and they are basically just here to take advantage of the fighting going on by selling their services, which they will be unable to do any of right now. So that's why this is such a particular challenge, because the bots will not be purchasing any of my services, which is the main function of how I score points and main function of how I am able to basically do stuff as the Riverfolk company. So that it's a bit of a challenge, but we'll see how it goes, see if it's possible to win. I've given this a go before and I didn't manage, but I might have played poorly, so we'll give it another go and see if playing better is going to be of any help. Alright, so as mentioned, if there are any questions or if there is anything you're wondering about, do feel free to put it in chat. I will have the chat open right here and I will be able to see whatever you're saying, so I will respond fairly quickly. So don't be shy. Anything you want to put in chat, no problem, put it on. Other than that, I hope you enjoy this solo play of a route. So now we will begin with with the Mechanical Marquise 2.0's turn, and they draw a ambush card. So how the bots work is that if they draw an order card, which is the card that I just drew for the Mechanical Marquise, that has a craftable item on it, they will craft that, scoring 1 point, only 1 point. If not, they will continue on without crafting. And then the second part of the order card is that will decide what and where they will do stuff. So this card right here is yellow, just as this rabbit clearing is yellow. So that clues you in on how the cards correlate to the different clearings. That's why all the clearings have different colors, because they are correlating to the cards. And as you can see, this one is yellow, and that clues you in as to where this card is most relevant. So let's see what the Mechanical Marquise 2.0 will do with this yellow card. So we have daylight, and they start with battling in each order clearing. However, in the beginning of the game there aren't any clearings in which they can battle, because there aren't a lot of warriors moving around. So they will recruit one warrior in each of their rabbit clearing, which is fairly easy for them to do since they are in control of all of them. And then they will build a workshop, and they will build that workshop in a clearing where they have the most warriors. So we have a bunch of clearings that are tied with the most warriors. So then the tiebreaker goes on to be the clearing where the clearing with the highest priority. So that would be this one. However, since they are unable to build in that clearing, as this clearing only has space for one building to be built, and they already have a building there, they will go to the next highest priority, which will be this one. Don't worry, we will not spend this much time on every single step throughout the game. It's just for the beginning, maybe a couple of rounds, to get you accustomed to how the bots work. and then now they've built, they will not be moving, because in order to move they will need to have 3 or more warriors in a clearing, and since there is not a single clearing in which they have 3 or more warriors, they will not be moving anywhere. And then they will score 1 point for having built 1 building, and that will be the end of the Mechanical Marquis 2.0's turn. Right, next up, now we have the Electric Eerie, and they draw this order card, and it is a rabbit card, as you can see, but it also has a craftable item, the root tea. So the Electric Eerie will craft the root tea and then score 1 point for doing so. And then they will add this card right here to their decree. Now they will resolve the decree. First, they start with recruiting in. They start by recruiting 1 warrior in a rabbit clearing, and they recruit in such a clearing with the most enemy pieces. So they do not have, and they are not in. They do not have a roost. They do not have a roost in any rabbit clearing, so they will be unable to recruit in such a clearing. So they have to move on to the next recruit column, which is the bird card column, and the bird card is a color. That card has a color that does not correspond to any of the clearings on the map, and so the reason for that is because the bird card is considered a wild card, and that can count for any color. So they will recruit 2 warriors in the only clearing in which they can, and then they will move all but 1 warrior from a rabbit clearing. However, again, they do not have a rabbit clearing. Then they will move all but 2 warriors from any clearing to the clearing with the most enemy pieces. First, they will move from the clearing where they have the most warriors, and then to a clearing that does not have a roost. And now, as you can see from this clearing right here, there are 2 possibilities, and so they will focus on such a clearing with the fewest enemy warriors. And then the west, I think, let's just, because you see the issue is the rules for the Electric Eerie, the bots, they have changed ever so slightly from what is shown on their board. Therefore, there is a bit of a difference. So I'll go for there you go, the updated. Move from declaring your rule who shoot magic concept to adjacent clearing with no roost. Have a roost, move to an adjacent clearing with a roost. Bring the tiebreakers below. The warriors in the origin clearing, so there are exactly enough root. That's such a clearing with the fewest enemy pieces. So that is not a fewest enemy warriors, but the fewest enemy pieces, meaning that you move the Electric Eerie, move all of their warriors in that clearing. Then they battle in each clearing, starting with the rabbit clearing. I'm pretty sure, right? That's still how it goes. In the clearing, the defender is playing with the most buildings there. Right, so they battle against the Mechanical Marquis. So this is how you handle battle in Root. You roll 2 dice, and the highest value goes to the player who attacked, and the lowest value goes to the defender. Alright, so let's see how this attack goes. And as you can see, it is a 3 and a 0, and that means that the birds, the Electric Eerie, do 3 damage to the Mechanical Marquis 2.0, and the Mechanical Marquis 2.0 do no damage to the Eerie. Now, the birds are supposed to attack again and then do an extra damage, because this column, the bird column, is the column with the most cards in it. However, since there are no available clearings for them to battle in, they will skip that part. Now they will place a roost, and the clearing a rule of highest priority with no roost. So this is the only clearing they rule that does not already have a roost. So that is where they'll be placing their roost. Alright. Next up we have the scoring. So they score 1 point, making sure that they are now in the lead. Oh boy, I think I forgot to put down my warriors in my payment box. There's 3 warriors in the payment box. Yep. So that's these 3 warriors in the payment box. There you go. There, look at them, looking all happy in their payment box. All right. Next up, we have the Automated Alliance, and the Automated Alliance draw this card. It is a rabbit card with no craftable items on it, so they will not be crafting, but they will start by trying to revolt. However, they do not have any presence on the map whatsoever, so they will not be able to revolt. Therefore, they will spread sympathy twice. First off, we spread sympathy, place a sympathy token in the ordered unsympathetic clearing with the fewest enemy warriors adjacent to any sympathetic clearing. No such clearing, meaning instead place a sympathy token in the clearing with the fewest enemy pieces. So that is just the clearing with the fewest enemy pieces with the highest priority, meaning this. So they spread sympathy there, and then they spread their sympathy over there because of public pity, and because they have 4 or fewer sympathy tokens on the map, they spread sympathy twice. Now we go into daylight, meaning that they will once again spread sympathy. So they gained 1 victory point for spreading sympathy. First sympathy they spread it gave them no points. Now they will spread sympathy again with the fewest pieces. There you go, and now that gives them 1 more victory point. So now they are tied in the lead with the Electric Eerie. That is done. There is no more spreading of sympathy, so they will try to organize, and that will not be happening because they do not have a base on the map. So they will neither organize nor recruit, and therefore they discard their order card and end their turn. Then we move on to the Vagabond. The Vagabond draws this card, and it is a fox card with a craftable item, as you can see right there. So the Vagabond crafts that item, the coins, and put it right there, and then decides to, if you have 2 or fewer undamaged items, move to a random adjacent forest, then go to evening. That is not happening. The Vagabond doesn't have any damaged items, so the Vagabond just continues on to daylight, which starts with explore. Move to the nearest ruin, exhausting 1 item per move, then exhaust 1 item to take an item from that ruin. So the nearest ruin is either this or that. This one has the highest priority, so the Vagabond will move in here, exhaust 1 item, and then exhaust another item to take the item from the ruin. And that is the 6th item, so it goes on to the battle track. Then we have battle. Move to the nearest clearing with any pieces of the enemy with the most victory points. So that is either the Automated Alliance or the Electric Eerie. So that means that it is either, so it goes up here, and it's either up there or down there. So if the target defends multiple clearings at equal distance, move to clearing where they have most buildings and tokens, then fewest warriors. So most the Electric Eerie have an equal amount of buildings as the Untitled Alliance has tokens. So the Vagabond goes down here because the Automated Alliance have no warriors there, whereas the Electric Eerie have a bunch of warriors. Now, they battle. The Vagabond use exhausts one item to battle the Sympathy token, scoring 1 victory point for removing cardboard from the map. And then the battle is over and it's time for the special. If you have 3 or more damage items, slip into a random adjacent forest. That is not happening. If you have any damaged items, not have any damaged items, so all the Vagabond's items will be refreshed. Now, that is the end of the turn for the Vagabond, and the order card is discarded, and now it is on to my turn. Protectionism: if paid by party is empty, place the warriors and score dividends and guard the funds. Move all warriors on the faction board to the funds board. Now we have what? Oh yeah, I forgot that I'm supposed to have 3 cards on my hand. So the 3 cards on my hand are these cards right here. Alright, let's see. If we put okay, so we could commit 1 to move, so and then we can move 2 fellas over there, but that's not enough. Alright, I think I'm going to have to wait with that one. And I spent 2 warriors to get a fella over here, and then this token right there, and that gives me 2 victory points. And then I commit a fund to move all of my fellows over here. So we are now a traveling band. And that looks good. That's basically it. Discard down to 5, set service cost, and I'm done. Then we are back to the Mechanical Marquise. The Mechanical Marquise 2.0 will draw this order card, which is a fox card with no craftable items on it. And that means that the Mechanical Marquise will start with battling in each fox clearings. So they cannot battle there. However, they can battle here where I have my trade. Where I have my trade post right there. So the Mechanical Marquise attacks my trade post. It disappears, goes out of the game. The Mechanical Marquise scores 1 point. And then there are no more places to battle, so they do not battle. And then they recruit in 1, 2, 3, and 4 clearings. 1 warrior in each clearing, up here, over there, and down here, and over there. Alright, great. Next up we have the build action. So, now, where do they have the most warriors? They again have 2 more warriors at most, so they then have to build where they have the highest priority. So since they do not have 2 warriors here, the highest priority will be up here where you see the 2. Yep. Then we have a move which they cannot because they are not enough warriors, and then they score 1 victory point, and that takes them to the lead. And then they discard their order card. Oh boy. I actually have to take out the mechanical marquees. Be able to build a trade post over there. Alright, well, see how that goes. Yes, Electric Eerie. Electric Eerie is next up, and they have, as you can see here, a mouse card with a craftable item. So they will craft that root tea, and it is the second root tea that they've crafted. And then they add the mouse card to their column, to their decree. Meaning that the decree shows all the places that they have to do stuff in. Alright, now we have the decree, and so they will recruit one warrior in the mouse clearing, and then they will recruit one warrior in the rabbit clearing, and then they will recruit 2 warriors in some clearing. Let's see what the rules say on which clearing they decide to recruit them. Place were equal to the number of first type of clearing. Such a clearing with the most enemy pieces. None of them have any. Such a clearing with the fewest Eerie warriors. So that means that they put 2 recruits here. Alright, very nice. Good. Good. Very good. Then we are done with the recruit. Now it's time for the move action, which will be moved from the clearing rule who suits the... So first they move from the mouse clearing to a clearing without a roost, which will be this clearing right here. So usually the automated outrage would make sure that whoever moved into a clearing with a sympathy token in it had to either give a card or discard a card, or let the Untitled Alliance gain 1 victory point. However, it only counts for humans. So, let's see. They've moved there. Now they have to move from the rabbit clearing. That is a clearing without a roost, which there are 2 of. And okay, so they move to the clearing with the 2 of, such a piece with the fewest enemy pieces, meaning up there. So they move their pretty much their entire army up here, and then they move so either from here or from there. Move from clearing a ruler's color suit has the most Eerie warriors. Has the most Eerie warriors, that means up here. So they will move from there for the last one with all but 2 warriors. And then they move into a clearing where they do not have a roost. And then to adjacent clearing, which is a clearing, such a clearing with the fewest enemy pieces, and then such a clearing of the lowest priority. So fewest enemy pieces, I guess technically the pawn is a piece, so we go in here. There you go. Now it's time to battle. So first they will battle in a mouse clearing if they can, which they can. So they battle over there. They battle the mechanical marquees over there. There that goes. It's a 0 against 0. So nothing happens there at all. And then we battle the mechanical marquees here, because they battle the one with the most buildings there. Initiate a battle in the clearing with the most. The defender is the player with the most buildings there. So the mechanical marquees is the defender again in that clearing. And let's see. There we go. It's a 0 and a 1, and so they do 1 damage to the mechanical marquees, taking out 1 kit. And the last place with the most damage they do is the bird card clearing. It was the first time just a clearing with no roost. That's all of them. And then such a clearing with the most defenseless buildings. So that's, well, none of them. Such a clearing on lowest priority. So the lowest priority would be this. And so they do an extra damage in addition to what they roll. And they roll 3 against a 1. So the cats take out 1 bird and the birds take out the rest of the cats. And then they are in control. Now it's time to build, and they place a roost and a clearing a rule with no roost. If multiple, pick the clearing with the highest priority. Oops. Highest priority would be 5. It looks like, yes. So they place a roost in this clearing right there. And then they score a victory point for +2 and making them the player in the lead. And that was the Electric Eerie. Let's have a look at the order card for the Automated Alliance. Here we go. That is a fox card that does not have a crafted item on it. So they go ahead and try to revolt. Remove all enemy people. Ordered sympathetic clearing. Are they present in any fox clearings? No, they are not. So they get public pity. So they spread their sympathy to clearings. To sympathetic clearing. With a fierce enemy warriors. Fierce enemy warriors. Fierce enemy warriors is the only tiebreaker, and so then the highest priority gets the priority. Then that gives them 1 victory point, and they're tied for second with the mechanical marquise. However, they spread sympathy once more, scoring yet another victory point, making them tied for the lead with the Electric Eerie. And then that is the end of the public pity. Now it is daylight and they spread sympathy once more. However, unfortunately, there are no clearings in which they are there are no fox clearings available. So no such clearing, particularly with the fused enemy pieces. So the fused enemy pieces would be this, as far as I could tell. Absolutely, yes. So they spread their sympathy out here. All right. And then there's a surprise revolt. No, organize, recruit, and discard. There we go. And that is it for them. Now it is the Vagabond's turn. The Vagabond draws this card, and it is a mouse card without a craftable item on it. So the Vagabond goes ahead and starts the quest. The quest is in a mouse clearing, as you can see right here. It is a quest to escort in a mouse clearing. So the Vagabond will move to the mouse clearing, move to the nearest clearing. Mouse clearing, so which is up here. And so they probably should have moved down there, huh? Oh well. Mouse clearing, and the Vagabond does the mouse clearing quest. Put it there, and then we have the new quest right there, which is to run an errand in a rabbit clearing. That's the next quest. However, the Vagabond will score 1 victory point for completing that quest after having exhausted 2 items. And next up on the agenda is to aid. And move to the nearest player within a piece of an enemy with the most victory point. No, with the least victory point. The only faction here that the Vagabond can aid is the Electric Eerie, because oh boy, what's going on with the quality? That's not super duper good. Let me know if there's an issue with something. But why does it say that I'm offline? That can't be right. It says right here. What? My freaking browser doesn't seem to be cooperating. Sorry about that. Aid, so the only faction they can aid is the faction that is tied for the lead, the Electric Eerie. And they are already in a clearing with the Electric Eerie, so the Vagabond will go ahead and exhaust as many items as possible up to the number of items that the Electric Eerie has. The Electric Eerie has 2 items, and the Vagabond will score 2 victory points for gaining those items. That makes them also tied for the lead. Alright. Oh right, yeah, no, of course. I don't have to fight the mechanical marquis to put up a trade post there, because the trade post doesn't use any building spots. That was lucky I realized that in time. Battle now, after having aided the Electric Eerie, the Vagabond will go ahead and battle the Electric Eerie. So the Vagabond goes ahead and scores does 0 damage to the Electric Eerie, and the Electric Eerie does 0 damage to the Vagabond. So then the Vagabond does another battle. Let's see how that goes. The Vagabond does 2 damage to the Electric Eerie, and the Electric Eerie does 1 damage to the Vagabond. So the Vagabond takes out 2 warriors and gets an item damaged. So they score 1 victory point per warrior removed, and the Vagabond is now in the lead with 6 points. That is the end of that. First, they will try to repair, however, they do not have any items to exhaust in order to repair, so they will not be doing that. If you have any damage items, so the Vagabond will only refresh 4 items. However, the Vagabond will repair 1 item, making it so that they now have no damaged items. Discard the other card. And then we are back to my turn. And what do? Well, protectionism. If payment box is empty, place rewards in it, score dividends, and then trade posts on the map, score 1 per 2 funds, and then gather funds, and then gather all the funds, and then I spent 2 funds to place a warrior and a trade there. There we go. And then I shall now, oh yeah, of course I get 2 points for that, and then I shall put a warrior here and craft this card right here. That gives me a boot and a victory point, making me second place. All right, very nice. Very nice. Now, yes. All right, that looks like that's it. that looks like that's it. So if the I don't think the mechanical marquees are going to be able to take out my trade post right there. So I might just go ahead and charm as the survey may draw a card and choose another player to score 1 point. In battling rabbit clearings, you may deal 1 extra hit and discard all your cards, etc. At the start of evening. That's pretty chill, man. I can craft this card to get a card every round without having to commit anything interesting. Very interesting. I might do that. And then just leave. So leave the trading post. All right. All right. Let's see. Let us see what do. Yeah. All right. Good. Let's go for Mechanical Marquees 2.0 and see what they do. They get a bird card with a craftable item. That is a boots card. So they craft the boots just in time before the boots are all gone, and then they score a victory point for doing so. Now, because this is a bird card, we go into escalated daylight instead. Now they fight in every single clearing. So let's go from highest to lowest priority. Here we go. They battle the sympathetic token, the sympathy token. Since the sympathy token is defenseless, they can't really do anything. Doesn't matter, and there is a guaranteed hit. Next up, we have up here. There are no one to battle here. Neither are there anyone to battle there. So they are not even present there. So here, they will battle the player with the most pieces there. The most pieces is most definitely the Electric Eerie, so they will battle the Electric Eerie, and let's see how that goes. We have a 3 against a 2. There is only one Marquis warrior there, so the warrior does 1 damage to the Electric Eerie. However, the Electric Eerie have more than 2 warriors, so they take out the cat and the cat's building, giving the Electric Eerie 1 victory point, tying them up in 2nd place with me. That was not such a good idea from the Mechanical Marquees, but it's about what do you expect. They are not even present here. There we go, they battle against the Vagabond, and let's see how that goes. That is a 2 against a 0, and so the Mechanical Marquees does 1 damage to the Vagabond. Next up we have 8. Over here the Mechanical Marquees battle me, the Riverfolk company, and let's see how that goes. 0 against 2, so the Mechanical Marquees do 2 damage to me and take out 2 of my warriors. And then we have this clearing right here. They take out the sympathy token right there, and then we have this clearing. They are not even present, and this clearing they take out the sympathy token as well. So that is 2 points, making them tied for lead with the Vagabond. And the last clearing right here, where they also take out the sympathy token, and that makes them be in the lead on their own. That was quite the round for the Mechanical Marquees. Now they recruit 2 warriors each to clear of the lowest clearings you rule of the lowest priority. So that's 2 warriors in 12th and 2 warriors in 11. Build a building attack with the most pieces on the map in a clearing you rule with the most marquees warriors. And that is for the first time finally only one clearing in which they are definitely the most warriors. So they build a sawmill right there. Now they move all but 3 warriors from each clearing to adjacent clearing with the most enemy pieces, and then battle in those clearings. So there's only one clearing in which they have more than 3 warriors, and that is this clearing right here. So they move from here to here where there are the most enemy pieces, and then they battle the electric Eerie. And let's see how that goes. It's a 0 and a 1, and so the mechanical marquise does 1 damage to the electric Eerie, and that should be about the end of their turn. Score a victory point regiments or empty space on the ordered building track. If the order card is a bird, use the track that would score the most. So the mechanical marquise score 2 victory points because of their sawmill having gone all the way to plus 2 victory points. Right, good. For a moment I was a little confused. No, it all looks very good. Then they discard their order card, and it is time for the electric Eerie to go ahead and do something. The electric Eerie draws this order card. It's a fox card without a craftable item, so they just add it straight to the decree and they go ahead and resolve it. Starting with the recruit part, we have place warriors equal in number of in a clearing in a roost. So a warrior in a fox clearing with a roost. They do not have any roosts in any fox clearings, and so they move on to the mouse clearings. Do they have yes, they do have a roost in the mouse clearing. There is only one roost in the mouse clearing, so that is the second roost, and then that's the third roost. All right, so now it's between this and that, and then time for target with the most enemy pieces, which is here because we have 2 enemy pieces, one of each player present in the clearing. And then we recruit 2 warriors in any clearing with the roost, and that is once again there. Now they move from a fox clearing. They move from a fox clearing to a clearing without a roost. That is 2 available clearings. Unless they want to buy some rivers from me, of course. Such a clearing with the fewest enemy pieces, so they move 2 warriors in here. Now they move from a mouse clearing, and that is this mouse clearing or that mouse clearing. So move from clearing rule whose suit matches this common suit and has the most Eerie warriors, so they have the equal amount of Eerie warriors. That means the highest priority. So these fellows, these birds right here, move to a clearing that doesn't have a roost. However, both of those clearings do have a roost. So it is time for the clearing with the fewest enemy pieces. This has enemy pieces, this does not. Therefore they move over there. Now they move from the clearing with the most most Eerie warriors, and then all but 1. So then they rule here, and they move to either this or this. So playing with the fewest enemy pieces. Fewest is that, so they move in there. That is the end of the moving. Wait, no, it's not the end of the moving. Here, now it is time to move these 2 into this clearing right here. From the clearing rule, wait, hang on. They have the this raft available. So move to adjacent from the concert, move to adjacent clearing with no roost. this and this and this and this and yeah, no, these 4 are available. Such clearing with the fewest enemy pieces. This one. So they take the raft over there and move these 2 warriors there. Then it is time to battle. Initiate a battle in fox clearing. They're not present in fox clearings where there are any enemy pieces, so they will not be initiating any battles in any fox clearings. So they go for mouse clearings instead, and we have a couple. First, tie for target clearing, such a clearing with no roost, that's both of them. Second, such a clearing with the most defenseless buildings, that's neither of them. And third, such a clearing with the lowest priority. So that is their first tie for target, such a player with the most pieces there, and such a player with the most victory points. So they attack the electric Eerie, and let's see how that goes. That is a 1 and a 2, meaning that the mechanical marquees do 1 damage, taking out 1 bird, and the birds do 1 damage to mechanical marquees, taking out 1 cat. And there we go. Now the electric Eerie are in control of that clearing. Now it is time for the rabbit clearings. They are not present here, and no enemies there, and not present there, so that means they are going to have to fight here. Most buildings, all of that stuff, most points, meaning that they will attack the mechanical marquees. And let's see how that goes. Over there, and that is a 3 against a 3. They both do 1 damage to each other, 1 cat and 1 bird. That was the last colored clearing, and now it is time for the bird, the wild card. That means they are going to battle in which clearing? Are they going to be battling in a clearing? Such a clearing with no roost, so the available ones are this one and this one. That is about it. Those are the only clearings that are available to battle in. So the first target such a clearing with no roost, and then such a clearing with the most defensive, such a clearing of lowest priority, meaning that they are going to battle the poor Vagabond, who just happens to be there. Poor Vagabond. Let's see how it works. It's a 2 and a 1, so the electric Eerie do 1 damage to the Vagabond. The Vagabond does 1 damage to the electric Eerie and takes out the bird. That is the end of the battling. Now it's time to build a roost in a clearing rule of highest priority. They rule this clearing down here at the bottom, so they build a roost there. Now they score 3 points because they have 4 roosts on the map. 1, 2, 3, taking them all the way to the 2nd place. Now we have the Untitled Alliance, and they draw the following order card: a wild card with no craftable items. So there will be no crafting. First, they will look into revolting. However, since this is a bird card, they will hold off on revolting to first get their public pity. So they, because they get public pity, they spread sympathy twice. So they spread to the clearing with the fewest enemy pieces, and that means up here, and they score 1 point for that. And then they spread sympathy once again, so this has 4 and this has 3, so they spread sympathy to there, scoring yet another point. And then we go into daylight, in which they spread sympathy once again and spread it over there, scoring yet another point. Then they do a surprise revolt. That means They are going to revolt, remove all the pieces from the ordered sympathetic clearing with the most enemy pieces and place the ordered base there. So which clearing where they have a sympathy token has the most enemy pieces? That is this clearing right here, number 6. So they remove both of the electric Eerie warriors and their roost, scoring 1 point for removing the roost and placing a rabbit base. Alright. Now they are done with their surprise revolt. They are trying to organize, not able, but they will be able to recruit now that they have a base on the map. Then they discard their order card and we go on to the Vagabond. Let's see what the Vagabond is. Oh, sorry about that. The Vagabond draws this card, the rabbit card, without a craftable item. So the Vagabond goes ahead and battle in the clearing. The Vagabond will battle against the player with the most victory points. So the Vagabond will either go there or there. Target multiplayer would have the most buildings and tokens than fewest warriors. So they have the equal amount of buildings. However, they have fewer warriors in this clearing right there. So the Vagabond will move right over there. Now the Vagabond will exhaust 1 item to battle the mechanical marquees. Let's see how that goes. The Vagabond does 2 damage to the mechanical marquees and they do no damage to the Vagabond, and that means that the Vagabond will be able to do another battle against the mechanical marquees and take out their sawmill, and that gives them 1 victory point plus 2 victory points for taking out the warriors. And then we have the repair. So the Vagabond will exhaust 1 item to repair 1 item, and that is if you have 3 or more damaged items, slip into a random adjacent forest. That will not be happening because the Vagabond does not have enough damaged items to do that. So the Vagabond will refresh 4 items, and then the Vagabond will repair 1 item. Alright. Then we discard the order card. Now it is my turn. So, protectionism, if the payment box is empty, place 2 warriors in it, then we score dividends, and then gather funds. So we gather all the funds right here, and then I will commit 1 to there to start of evening, may draw a card and choose another play to score 1 victory point. So that's what I will do. I will draw a card. There you go. And at the start of evening, so now I will not be doing anything because I'm planning on scoring a victory point with these 2 funds right there. And then at the start of evening, you may draw a card to choose another player. Choose another player to score 1 point. So I draw a card. Cool. And that card is this card right here. It's an ambush card. And then that was probably the least helpful card, but that's fine. That's fine. Then we set service cost and then let it be. Let it be. Then we move on to the mechanical marquees and let's see what they draw. They draw the other card of Fox Clearing with a craftable item. However, we do not have any more root teas available for crafting, so the mechanical marquees will not craft. Now they will battle in each Fox Clearing in which they are present with an enemy. However, they are not present with an enemy in any Fox Clearing, so they will forgo that, and instead they will recruit in both of the Fox Clearings in which they are present. Alright. Yes. they have recruited. Now it's time to build a sawmill, and that will be again in this clearing right here, because that's the clearing where there are definitely the most mechanical marquis warriors, and then they will move from each clearing to adjacent clearing with the most enemy pieces, which means one warrior moves in there, and then we have 2 warriors moving in here. All right, and it's time to score 2 victory points, taking them back in the lead. Now it is the electric Eerie after the mechanical marquis have discarded their order card. The electric Eerie draws this bird card that also does not have a craftable item, so they will just add it straight into their decree and go ahead with their daylight. So let's see how that looks like. First, the electric Eerie will recruit 1 in fox clearing. They do not have a fox clearing, so they will recruit 1 in a mouse clearing. For such a clearing with the most enemy pieces. This clearing has 2 enemy pieces, so they will definitely choose that to recruit 1 warrior in. And then they will recruit 1 warrior in a rabbit clearing, in which they have a roost, which is only 1 place. And then they will recruit 3 warriors in any clearing. So such a clearing with the most enemy pieces. So they have only 3 roosts out, and that means 2. So this is where they recruit the 3 extra warriors. Next up we have the move action. Move from a clearing rule whose suit matches the column's suit, has the most Eerie warriors. So fox clearings, here we go. 2 from the fox clearing, and where do they move to? Move to an adjacent clearing with no roost, with the fewest enemy pieces. So they move up here because there is only 1 enemy piece there. And then they move from the mouse clearing here. They need only 2 to rule it, because this is the only mouse clearing where they rule. So we move. Wait, no, that was fox clearing first, right? Then mouse clearing. First is mouse clearing, meaning that they where they have the most warriors here, and they only need 1 to rule it. So they move 2 where they do not have a roost, meaning there, and then we have the rabbit clearing. Move 2 to wherever they do not have a roost, which is here. And then it's the last to consider that has the most Eerie warriors. Most Eerie warriors. No clearings have more than 3 Eerie warriors, so they will not be moving for a 3rd time. Now, or a 4th time, I guess it would be. Now it's time to initiate a battle. First we have a fox clearing battle, which is here. So they will just go ahead and initiate a battle against the mechanical marquis. What can I use cards for? Actually nothing. I literally can't use cards for anything. Alright, well, the electric Eerie attack the mechanical marquis. 2 for the Eerie and 1 for the marquis. There we go. Oh wait, that's where do they attack? Because there are 2. There's a bit of a close, for such a claim with no roost. Yeah. Claim with the most defenseless buildings. None of them. Such a claim of lowest priority. Yes. Okay. So that's 2 mechanical marquees and 1 electric Eerie warrior. Now on to a mouse clearing. Mouse clearing, mouse clearing, mouse clearing, and mouse clearing. Most defenseless buildings. Oh, this isn't a defenseless building. So then, wait, what was the other? With no roost. Okay, so it's definitely this then. Or that one. So, lowest priority. This. Okay, they take out a sympathy token, giving them 1 victory point. And then fox and mouse, and now rabbit clearing. They're here. Other than that, nope, not present. So such a play with the most pieces there. So they attack the mechanical marquees. We have a 2 against a 1, meaning that the 1 bird and 1 cat goes out. And then we have the final battle for this round. That is the battle, such a going with no roost. So this doesn't have a roost, this doesn't have a roost, that's a roost. This doesn't have, but there's no battle there. Such a going with the most defenseless buildings. And then such a going of lowest priority. So they battled the mechanical marquees there. Let's see how that goes. That's a 1 against 0, so they take out 1 cat, but they do not take out any buildings. Then they build a roost. They build a roost and clearing a rule of highest priority. So that is, they do not rule, they rule there, they rule there, but they cannot there, so 7, yes. Looks like it. Looks like it. Then they're done. Next up now is the automated. Wait, they need to score points first. 3 points. 1, 2, 3, and that puts them in the lead. Now we need automated alliance, and they draw this order card right here. It's a mouse card with no craftable items. Come on, stop it. Focus on the actual card. Stop being so silly. Would you just, please, hold it. Thank you. Anyway, so they draw this card, and then they try to revolt. And revolt they do. So they revolt here, removing this roost and this bird. And they place their mouse base there. And then they spread sympathy. And they spread the sympathy to a mouse clearing. Yeah, this here. Or that one up there. With the fewest enemy pieces. So that means up here. And then that gives them 1 victory point. And no surprise revolt. You know, organized in this clearing. Nope. And then they recruit in this clearing with a base. That means 1 mouse up there and 1 mouse over there. And that is about it. So they discard their card, and it is on to the Vagabond. The Vagabond draws this card right here. Stop it. Stop being so bad at focusing. Come on. Alright, so it's the Corvid planners. I don't know why this camera keeps refusing to focus being steady. Bird card. So the Vagabond is there are no craft lines on it, so there's no crafting, but the Vagabond will go ahead and explore. So the Vagabond is over there, and the ruin is over there or there, meaning 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. So that's 2 steps over there. And the Vagabond exhausts 2 items to move there, and then 1 item to take the item from the ruin. And there you go. We then have a, there you go, 6, 7, 8, 9th item. This is the 9th item. And that means it is time to move on over to the quest. And the quest, as you remember, is this quest right here. It's an errand in a rabbit clearing. Stop it. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Why are you being so freaking excited suddenly? Rabbit clearing. That is what the Vagabond will be doing. So the Vagabond will move up 1 to get to the wait, which one? Move to the nearest clearing, marching the quest. So up 1 to go there and do the quest. But it doesn't have, so maybe it just doesn't do it at all. That's interesting. So then 8 is next up. The 8 is either for the electric Eerie or me, actually. Target the player in your clearing with any items and the least VP. So the least VP, that would be the mechanical marquees in this clearing. So the Vagabond exhausts 1 item to take that 1 item and score 1 victory points. That is the end of 8. Now it is time for the Vagabond to battle. Move to the nearest clear with any piece of the enemy with the most victory points. That is here because the enemy with the most victory points is the electric Eerie. And so the Vagabond battles the electric Eerie. That means it attacks the electric Eerie. And we have battle, and there's going to do most VP, next is 1 item. Now, let's see how that battle goes. It's a 3 against a 0, so that means the Vagabond takes out the 2 electric Eerie warriors in that clearing and scores 2 victory points, making the Vagabond tied for the lead. Then that is the end of that. The Vagabond refreshes 6 items, does not have any items that are damaged, so it doesn't have to repair any items. And then there you go. Very nice. Discards the other card, and now it is my turn. I have my Charm Offensive right there. So Protectionism. 2, and I score dividends, so I score 1 per fund, 2 funds, and I put all of these in the funds box. And then do a move to move all of my fellows over here. And then I do a now that I control that, I put 2 in here with this warrior right here, and that gives me 2 victory points. And then another one to move, and then I move over here, and that does not look interesting. So I guess I'll just battle. I'll battle against the mechanical marquees. And that is 1 point plus 1 because 1 guaranteed. Also, because I used the raft, I get a card. Totally used knapsack. Yeah, okay. So I take out these 2 sawmills, giving me 2 victory points for doing so. And I'm back in the game. Very fun. Okay. Then it is time for evening, and I draw a card, and the Untitled Alliance gets a victory point. And I have a bit to craft. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, alright. No, it is the mechanical marquise again. Let's see what the mechanical marquise do. They draw a bird card right here. The soup kitchens. So they go into escalated daylight, following each cleric. So let's start with the lowest. Here we go. They battle against the mechanical marquise. Oh, yeah, I do have. So that's 0 and 0. And 2, nothing there. 3, nothing there. 4, nothing there. 5. So they attack. Whom do they attack? Most points. That would be the electric Eerie. So they attack the roost, scoring 1 victory point, making them tied for the lead with 12 points. And then we go 6, 7, and 8, which is over there. They take out my trading post, scoring 1 victory point, making sure that they are now in the lead. And they go ahead and let's see. They 8, yes, 8, 9. Here we go. They battle against the electric Eerie right there, and that they score 3, taking out 2 birds, and the birds got 2 points, taking out 2 cats. And 9, that leaves 10, nothing there. 11, nothing there, and then 12, nothing there. They're done with the battling. Now it's time to recruit 2 warriors, and these are the 2 clerics who rule over the lowest priority. So they recruit 2 warriors there. They do not rule neither 10 nor 11, so they recruit 2 warriors here in 9. And then we go to recruit the building, which means sawmill. Place a sawmill where they have the most warriors, which is here. And then move over 3 warriors from each clearing into the adjacent clearing with the most enemy pieces. Over 3, so that is these 2, and there are no clearings with the most enemy pieces, so that means the highest priority. There you go, no battling because there were no enemy pieces there. Then we go on to scoring 1 victory point, and they are up to 14 points. Then they discard, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to swap you over there. They discard their order card, and we move on to the electric Eerie. The electric Eerie draws this order card right here. It is a bird card with no craftable items, so they do not craft. They add the card directly to their decree right there, and they have 4 cards in their bird column now, and they go ahead and resolve their decree. That is again with the updated the law of root batics. So they recruit now first with 1 warrior in each fox clearing in which they have a roost. However, they only have 2 roosts, and those are in mouse clearings, so No recruiting in the fox clearing. However, they would recruit one in a mouse clearing with the most enemy pieces and the fewest Eerie warriors, and no recruiting in any rabbit clearing. And then they move on over to move from a fox clearing. This is the only clearing in which they are present, so they will not be able to move from there. Then we have the mouse clearings, so here we go. They can move from that mouse clearing right there, or they can move. They can move from this mouse clearing as well. Move from adjacent. The suit has the most Eerie warriors, and if they don't have the most Eerie warriors, then highest priority. So here we go. Then it is to the clearing without a roost, and such clearing with the fewest enemy pieces. So the electric Eerie moves a warrior up to the rabbit clearing. Then we are at the rabbit clearing, and they are only present in one rabbit clearing, and they are unable to move from there without giving up rule, so they will not. Then we have the last column. They are unable to move there because they do not have enough warriors. Now it is time to battle in a fox clearing, which they do. Here they battle against my trade post, scoring 1 victory point. And then we go to, that is a mouse clearing. I was a little taken out by them taking out my trade post, but we persevere. Mouse clearings, yeah, I should definitely move on over there. Mouse clearing. They battle in the mouse clearing, so that is either this mouse clearing or that mouse clearing. So in the general clearing, who matches the defenders with the most buildings, they have a root in each of them, so that is irrelevant. Such a clearing with no roots, such a clearing with the most defenseless buildings. It's not a defenseless buildings, but it's a defenseless token. However, it does not say defenseless token. Such a clearing with lowest priority, which is here. So they battle the sympathy token, and they score 1 victory point, making them tied for a lead with the mechanical marquees. Next up we have the rabbit clearing, and they are only present in one rabbit clearing, so they will be battling this in this clearing, and then the target is such a player with the most pieces there. They have an equal amount, such a player with the most victory points, and that is the mechanical marquees. So the electric Eerie will be battling the mechanical marquees in that clearing, and let's see how that goes. We have a 0 and a 1. Alright. That means that the electric Eerie takes out the one cat that is there. And that is it for that battle. Next battle is the battle of the battles. And let's see in which clearing it takes place. In a clearing without a roost, which would be this clearing right here. There's the only clearing in which they are present with an enemy piece that also does not have a roost. So they remove this sympathy token, scoring 1 point, making them arrive in the leading position. Then they will build, and then they build in a clearing rule of the highest priority with no roost. So the only clearing the rule of highest priority with no roost is this one, and they score 2 points for having 3 roosts out. Now we go on to the Untitled Alliance, and they draw this card for their order card. It is a bird card with a craftable item that even has a craftable item available. So they craft that item and they score 1 victory point. And they move on to reveal and craft a Revolt, and they will wait with Revolt because this card is a bird card again, and so they start off with public pity, meaning that they will spread sympathy twice. and that is to the clearings with the fewest enemy pieces. So that is one clearing right there, one victory point, and another clearing, and that is either so that's 3 pieces, so that is another victory point. And then we have spread sympathy, and that means over there where there are no enemy pieces, and that is yet another victory point. And then we have a surprise revolt. That is revolt in a clearing in which they are unable to revolt, which means that this is the only clearing they are unable to revolt in, and so that's where they do their revolt. Now they try to organize. There is no organizing because they do not have enough warriors in any clearing, so they recruit a warrior in each clearing with a base. And that is the end of their turn. They discard their card. Now, let's have a look at the Vagabonds. It is a mouse card with a craftable item, and that craftable item is indeed available. So the Vagabond will go ahead and craft it. So that is 6, 9, 10, 11, one more item, and the Vagabond gets to do an extra hit. That is 1 victory point for the Vagabond, and the Vagabond will go ahead and start the quest. The quest, as you remember, is this quest right here, an errand in a rabbit clearing. So the Vagabond will need to go to a rabbit clearing. The closest rabbit clearing is this, and this has the lowest priority. So highest priority rabbit clearing, here you go. Discard, no, not discard, exhaust 2 items to do that quest, scoring 1 victory point. There we go. And the new quest for the Vagabond is this: repair a shed in a fox clearing. And then we have aid. The Vagabond will go ahead and aid the player there with items. So the Vagabond will take that item, that will be the 12th item, and then score 1 victory point for aiding. And then it is time to battle the electric Eerie. Let's see how that goes with an extra hit. So that means that the Vagabond does 2 hits to the electric Eerie, takes out the warrior and takes out the roost, and that is an additional 2 points for the Vagabond, making the Vagabond tied for the lead with the electric Eerie. Next up now we have repair. There is no need for repair because the Vagabond hasn't had any of his items damaged. So the Vagabond will go ahead and refresh all of his items and discard the order card and pass the turn on to me. Now it is my turn. Protectionism, that means 2 warriors in there, and then we gather funds, and that is 5 funds right there. And then we yeah, that's a good question actually. So I will spend 2 warriors, 2 funds, to set up a trade post here, and then I will commit 1 warrior to move over here with the raft, and that gives me 1 victory. No, that gives me 1 card. That card is this card right here, and right, then we spend 2 warriors to put up a trade post here as well, and then that will be it. And then we draw a card in evening, and then we give the mechanical marquise a victory point. Now we have 6 cards, so we will discard this ambush card. And there we go. Very interesting. So I can do 2 crafts. And I can do another craft. Or I can do something else. I can perhaps battle, perhaps. We'll see. We will see. Oh right, I scored 2 points for the trade posts. And then additional 2 points for trade posts. I have to remember to give myself points. Now, we have the mechanical marquees, and they will add their order. They will draw their order card, which is this one. It's a mouse card without a craftable item on it. So they will go ahead and just battle in every mouse clearing in which they are present. That means they will go ahead and battle in the lowest priority, no, the highest priority first. Here we go. They will battle the electric Eerie in this clearing right there, and let's see how that goes. And that is a 1 and a 1, meaning 1 cat and a bird. Both go out. Yeah, that is 1 clearing taken care of. They are not present in either of those clearings, so they attack me in that clearing. Let's see how smart that is. That is a 0 and a 2, meaning that they take out 2 of my warriors, and that's about it. That is about it with the battling, and it is time to recruit 4 warriors even among other clerics you rule. So unfortunately the mechanical marquis doesn't rule a single mouse clearing, because this is the only place they could have ruled, and they have only 1 warrior there against the electric Eerie's 1 building, and the electric Eerie rules all clearings in which they are tied, meaning that they will not be, the mechanical marquis will not be ruling in that clearing. Let us go on to build them. So they build a recruiter. Right, because they can't recruit anywhere, because they don't rule any mouse clearings, so but then they will try to build a recruiter. A clearing in which build and clearing a rule with the most mechanical marquis warriors, and that means this one, but they can't build here. So this one, but they can't build there as well. They do not rule here. There is no more building there, so they cannot build. If you did not place a building this turn and have 5 or fewer buildings on the map, discard the order card and draw a new one, which they did not. They built a building this turn, and they do not have more than 5 cards, so they draw an extra order card. It is this fox card without a craftable item on it, and so they will go ahead and battle in each fox clearings. They are not present and not present, not present, and here there are no enemies, so there will be no battling. Then they will recruit 4 warriors evenly distributed among, and that means 4 warriors in this 1 fox clearing which they rule. There we go. That is quite a lot of cat warriors. Now they will build a sawmill, and again they do not have anywhere to build, so they will not be building, and they will move all but 3 of your warriors, Oh right, they could move from here last turn to here, I guess. Then all but 3 into here, and then that means they definitely rule that clearing finally, and they expand once more. They draw a new order card and repeat daylight, and so they draw this third card with no crafting items on it, and so they go into escalated daylight, which means they will battle in each clearing. So the first battle here, take out that roost, score 1 victory point, and then we have no cats here, and then the 30 is over there with no cats, and then we have no cats and no cats and no cats and no cats and no enemies and no enemies and no cats and no cats, and here we go. It's time to battle the others. Okay, that goes. And it's a 3 against 1, so that takes out 3 others against 1 cat being taken out. And that is about it. Now it's time to recruit 2 warriors in each of the 2 clearings, a rule of the lowest priority, so that is 2 warriors in there and then 2 warriors in here. Yeah, they don't have a lot of places to move, do they? Build a building, that's a sawmill, so they build a sawmill here, and then they move all but 3 warriors from each clearing, so that is all but 3 warriors here to the clearing with the chasing clearing with the most enemy pieces, then highest priority, and that means over there. They take the raft with them and they battle the electric area. The cats are angry now. So that is 1 against 0, taking out 1 bird, and then we have these 3 moving in here, and they attack me. Let's see how that goes. That is a 1 against a 0, and they take out 1 otter, and then, oh, sorry, there you go. And then that is about it for the moving and attacking. So they managed to build finally, so they score 2 victory points, making them the leaders. And then they discard their order card. Now we go on to the electric Eerie. The electric Eerie, here we go. They draw a mouse card without a craftable item on it. And so they just add it to their decree right there. And then they recruit 1 warrior in a fox clearing if they have a roost there, which they do not. They only have 1 roost, and that's up there. So they recruit 2 warriors in this clearing right there, and then they recruit an additional 4 warriors in that clearing. Now they move from with the most warriors to a clearing where there are no roost, and then the fewest amount of enemy pieces. With the fewest enemy pieces, yep. So then they move 2, so that is 2 warriors left, and then they move in here, and then they move from the rabbit clearings, and then they move from these clearings right here, leaving 2 with fewest enemy pieces without a roost, and that is here. Alright, then they are done with them moving, and they will try to battle. So first they battle my trade post right there and score 1 victory point for removing the cardboard. and then they battle in the mouse clearing, taking out this sympathy token, scoring 1 victory point for doing so. And they are now in the lead. And then they battle here against whom? Do they battle against the Vagabond, or do they battle against the Automated Alliance? Such player with the most pieces there, equal amount of pieces there, and such player with the most victory points. And that is the Vagabond. So, the Electric Eerie battle the Vagabond. Let's see how it goes. It's a 2 against a 2 and a 0, so the Electric Eerie take out 2 of the Vagabond's items, meaning that the Vagabond has only the 9th item available. And that is it. Now it is time for the final battle. That is in this clearing, and that is again against the Vagabond. Let's see how that is. And it is a 2 against a 1, so the 1 is 1 bird, and then the 2 is 2 plus 1, so a whole bunch of damaged items for the Vagabond. Yes. Then we are done with the battling, and it's time to build a ruse. So we build a ruse with clearing a rule of the highest priority, which is this one, because the Electric Eerie is the only player present there in terms of rule. Alright, so it's time to score 1 victory point, and then it is the Automated Alliance. Let's see what their order card is. It's a rabbit card without the craftable item on it, so they will go ahead and do public pity. So that is 1 spread sympathy. And they spread sympathy to rabbit clearings. Rabbit clearings with the fewest enemy pieces. So that is there, and that is 1 victory point for the Automated Alliance. And then it is time to spread sympathy once again, and it's again for the rabbit clearing. And then that means down there, and they score 1 fewer victory points for that placement, because that clearing has, wait, they can't actually place there. So they have to place somewhere else, which means the fewest enemy pieces, which is there, and they score 2 victory points. Then that is it. No more surprise revolt or anything. And then we have organize, remove 3 warriors from here, and spread sympathy again. That means they will spread sympathy to an unsympathy clearing of the ordered rule. There we go. So that is another 2 points, making them catch up to the 2nd place. Should I wait? Should I just go down and grab that? It's an interesting question. That is an interesting question. Anyway, let's see what the Vagabond does. They taking at that, and then we have recruit, so they put down 1 warrior in each of their clearings with a base. And that is it. Now they discard their order card, and it's time to see what the Vagabond will be doing. It's a mouse card with a craftable item. However, unfortunately, the craftable item is unavailable, so they will not be crafting the craftable item. So the Vagabond does not have 2 or fewer items available that are undamaged, so the Vagabond will not be slipping into a forest. However, the Vagabond will be doing the quest, and the quest is for the Vagabond to repair a shed in a fox clearing. So the Vagabond jumps over there and exhausts 2 items to do that quest. This quest has now been done. The Vagabond has repaired a shed in a fox clearing for exhausting 2 items, scoring the Vagabond 1 point. And the next quest on the Vagabond's agenda is to expel bandits in a mouse clearing. Alright, now next up then is to aid. So aid, the Vagabond cannot aid anyone because they are not in a clearing in which they share that they share with another player that they can aid. So that means that the Vagabond will go ahead and battle against the player with the most victory points. That means the electric Eerie, so let's see how that goes. We roll the dice, and that's a 3 against a 1, meaning that the Vagabond will take 1 damage to an exhausted item, but it will do 3 damage to the electric Eerie, taking out 3 of the birds. Then the Vagabond will do an additional battle to take out the remaining birds. And let's see how that goes. It is 1-1, so 1 damage to the Vagabond and 1 damage to the bird. And those items go down, the bird goes out. And there are no more birds to battle, so the Vagabond will go ahead and exhaust an item to repair. And then that is the 6th item, and we are back to max 2 hits. Now it is time to refresh 4 undamaged, so refreshing these 4 undamaged items. If you are in a forest, repair item. If not, repair 1 item, repair unexhausted before exhausted, and then discard the order card. There we go. Now it is time for me. And I will have 2 warriors in the protectionism, and then I will gather funds. Now the question is, should I go ahead and craft 2? So first I craft this gently used knapsack for 1 victory point. And there, take this down here, and a victory point for me. And then I connect to the fox clearing, and I craft the crossbow. That is another victory point for me. And then I can commit a fund to draw a card, which then I will do. There we go. And it is investments. That gives me 3 victory points, which means that I might just want to see if I can't move on over, create a trade post, and then spend 2. So what that costs is then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will only be getting 2, so I will not be able to do that. Oh. Right. For a moment, I thought that I had missed a rule, but I hadn't, because I hadn't gotten into effect yet. The problem is that when anyone remove any of my trade posts, I'm supposed to remove 2 of my funds. However, I've never expected to gain any victory points from that, so I never bothered to leave any funds in the funds box. So there's nothing to worry about there. Start of evening, I may now draw a card and choose another player to gain a victory point, and so I think I'll just go ahead and do that. Birdie bundle right here, and that is another craftable item that I can go ahead and do if I feel like it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad because that is still available. However, I forgot to take the crossbow when I crafted it. I'll just put that there, and I'll give a victory point to the mechanical marquise, and my turn is over. Now we go to the mechanical marquise and see what they draw as their order card. It is a fox card without a craftable item, so they will go ahead and go straight into battle in each fox clearing. However, they are not present in any fox clearing along with any enemy pieces, so they will not be battling. They will, however, recruit 4 warriors, 2 in each of the 2 fox clearings in which they are present. They will build a sawmill in the clearing where they have the most warriors, which is most definitely that one. And then they will move all but 3 of the warriors from each ordered clearing to the adjacent clearing with the most enemy pieces. So they will move here these 2 into this clearing right there, and then they will move these 5 into the clearing with the most enemy pieces. And the most enemy pieces is either 4 or 4, so highest priority, and that means up there. Then there will be no need for expanding. They will be scoring 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And then they discard their order card. Next up we have the Electric Eerie. Let's see what they draw for their order card. It is a fox card with a craftable item. However, the craftable item on this card is not available to craft, so they will just go ahead and add it to their decree. There we go. Now they will resolve the decree and recruit 2 warriors. They only have their roosts in a mouse and a rabbit clearing, so they will not be recruiting in any fox clearings. They will recruit 2 warriors in this mouse clearing. They will recruit 1 warrior in this rabbit clearing, and then they will recruit 4 warriors in the clearing with the most enemy pieces. There are equal amount of enemy pieces, so fewest Eerie warriors, and that means they will recruit 4 warriors in this clearing right here. Then they will move from the clearing. First they will move from fox clearing, not happening, they're not present. And then they will move from the mouse clearing, and they move from the mouse clearing to the clearing without a roost and the fewest enemy warriors. I'm pretty sure that's still the updated rules because I'm using the new law of robotics. So move to a social clearing with the fewest enemy pieces, which means this right here. And then they will move from this one to a clearing with no roost and the fewest enemy pieces. And then we have the last move, which is all but these 4, and they will move to a clearing with no roost, so not that, and this is the only available one, so they will move 3 warriors up there. Then they will battle in a fox clearing. The only thing they can battle in the fox clearing is the Vagabond right there. Let's see how that battle goes. And it is a 0 against a 0, so no damage done either way in that clearing. And then we move on to the mouse clearing, in which they are only present here, so they go ahead and they take out this sympathy token, scoring them 1 victory point. Then they go on to the rabbit clearing, and they have to decide on which of the clearings to attack. So clearing type battle in such a clearing with no roost, that means in up there. So they will battle the Woodland Alliance up here. Let's see how that goes. And it is 3 against 0. That means the birds take out the warrior as well as the fates and the sympathy token. That gives the electric Eerie 2 points for having removed 2 cardboard, and Crackdown. Whenever a base is removed, remove all sympathy tokens from clearings matching the suit of the base removed. So this sympathy token and this sympathy token are both removed. Then the electric Eerie are going to do their one last battle, and that battle is going to be the only place they are able to battle, and that is in this clearing again against the Vagabond. Let's see how that goes. And that is a 2 against a 0, and so since this is the column with the most cards in it, the electric Eerie do 3 damage to the Vagabond. The Vagabond is being thoroughly beaten up this game. Alright, and then it is time to build. So the electric Eerie build in the clearing they rule with the highest priority, which is up there, and then they score 2 points before they end their turn. Now we go on to the Automated Alliance. The Automated Alliance draw this card as their order card. It is a mouse card without a craftable item on it, and they go ahead and try to revolt. However, they already do have a mouse base out, so they will not be revolting. Therefore, they will get public pity. That means, what? No, stop it. Stop it. Sorry, apparently Google wanted to join. They will do spread sympathy twice. So first they will focus on spreading sympathy to the mouse clearings. However, this is the only mouse clearing in which they are not already present. So that is the last mouse clearing they will be spreading to, and now they will be spreading to whichever clearing has the fewest enemy pieces. So we have this clearing here with 4 enemy pieces. This has 3 and this has 2. So they spread over there, giving them 1 victory point and 1 victory point for the mouse clearing they spread to. And then we go to daylight and they spread once more. And then that means it's 3, which is here, and they gain 2 victory points for spreading sympathy. Then we move on to organize, which means they remove 3 of these warriors and they spread sympathy once more. That also is the last place they can spread sympathy without triggering martial law. So they will go ahead and spread sympathy to the clearing with the highest priority, with the lowest amount of the fewest enemy pieces, which is that one, and then so they will only score 1 victory point for that. Then it is time to recruit, so they recruit in each base. There you go, and we now discard their order card and move on to the Vagabond. Let's have a look at what the card the Vagabond will get for its order card. It is a fox card without a craftable item. So the Vagabond will go ahead and if you have 2 of you, no, it does not have 2 of you, so the Vagabond will go ahead and explore. The Vagabond will explore by moving on over there, using 1 item exhausting one item to move, and then exhausting an additional item to pick up the item from the ruin. And then we'll go ahead and battle. The Vagabond will go ahead and battle, and that is either the Electric Eerie or the Untitled Alliance. Target defender is in multiple within a piece with enemy most victory point to exhaust one item. Repeat this action possible to as many times. Move to the nearest clear within a piece of enemy with the most victory point and exhaust one item to battle that player. But the problem is which player. So I'm assuming then that the Vagabond, since it gets points for battling the warriors, it will battle the Electric Eerie. So let's see how that goes. One item has been flipped to battle the Electric Eerie, and that is a 2 and a 3, meaning that they both do 1 damage to each other, and then again the Vagabond will go ahead and exhaust 2 items to do an additional battle against the Electric Eerie, taking out its roost, and that will be 2 victory points for the Vagabond. Then the Vagabond is all out of, if you have 3 or more damaged items, slip into a random adjacent forest, which the Vagabond definitely has, so the Vagabond slips into that forest. If you have 2 or fewer undamaged items, move to a random adjacent, and you go to you. Alright, now that is the end of the Vagabond's turn. Wait, first it repairs 4 items, and then it repairs 1 item, and then that is the end of the Vagabond's turn. Now it is my turn. So let's see what I decide to do. Here we go. Here we have, first we get 2 in protectionism, and then we have 5 in funds. And it is time to move and craft and do stuff. So, if I'm able to, well, okay, so I think if I spend 2, 3, then I can build one over there. Because you have to rule the clearings you move to or from. Or do I get more? Well, I mean, two warriors. Alright, I think I will spend 1 to gain a warrior here, and we'll commit 1 to move these over there. Then we'll commit another 1 to move them over there. And should I build a trade post? Should I attack? The trade post. And attack. Well, I mean, I can craft whenever I want. So, all right. I have to Whenever human removes a sympathy token or moves any warriors into a sympathy clearing, they must discard a matching card. If they cannot, you score 1 victory point. Right, so mouse clearing. So we discard that. Then we have rabbit clearing, so discard that. Yeah, and then we spend 2 to put down a trade post. Was that done? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. So then I draw a card, and that card is this box clearing card right there. It doesn't have a craftable item on it, but that's fine. And then so for that, I let the Vagabond gain a victory point. And then, oh right, I scored 2 victory points for doing the trade post. Now it is the mechanical marquise again. Let's see if I'm able to survive the rest of this round. The mechanical marquise, they draw this as their order card, and it is a rabbit card with a craftable item. However, unfortunately, that craftable item is unavailable to craft, so the mechanical marquise will go ahead and battle in each rabbit clearing. Starting with the highest priority in which they are present, they are only present in 2 clearings, and that is this and this, so they will go ahead and battle the Woodland Alliance, the Untitled Alliance, and score 1 victory point for removing their sympathy token, and then they will go ahead and recruit as much as they can, which is only 1 warrior, in the clearing in the highest priority, which is this. Next up, they will build a workshop in a clearing in which they have the most warriors, which would be this clearing right here, but they don't have any more spots to build in. No spots, no more spots. They have not a lot of warriors here, no more spots there, so they will go ahead and build a workshop up there. And then they will move over 3 of your warriors from each ordered clearing, so that is this one, and to the clearing with the most enemy pieces. And this one that does not have enough warriors to move from. Then they will score 1 victory point. Then we move on over to Electric Eerie, who draws this order card, and it is a rabbit clearing with a craftable item, and that craftable item is available. Not only is it available, it is in fact the craftable item that I was hoping that I could